So I hope my screen is visible to you guys. And yes, in this course, we are going to start from the Python because Python will be required to code our AWS Lambda function, and it will be required to do ETL on the AWS Glue side. That is why we will need one programming language to code our things. And for that, we will choose Python because it's a mostly used language. And in this, we are going to start from the introduction of Python, some basic methods, string manipulation techniques, working with files, reading files, writing files, and changing data in file using data frames and working on data frames, like, doing join operations, understand the capabilities of data frames, their use cases, and some of the data frame methods. And at the end, we are going to go through the complete process of changing or doing ETL with the help of Python. And this will be doing by a mini project. Then next, we are going to start with S3 service, which is a cloud storage service. In this, we are going to start with the use cases of the S3, features of the S3, such as their lifecycle rules, storage classes, and triggering our pipelines with the help of S3 events, its security, and one more feature which is called versioning, the use cases of versioning, how to enable it, and how to utilize that. And then obviously this whole course is going to be complete hands-ons. So after every theory class, we are going to see use cases and hands-ons practically. And I'll let what kind of tasks we can achieve with one particular service, when to use that and when not to use that. Because in cloud, we have too many services and those looks very similar. So we have to pick our best service for our particular use case. So, we are going to talk about those things also. Then our microprocessing architecture coding will start with AWS Lambda. So in Lambda, actually, we can write some small code functions to create automations or create ad hoc processes in our task, in our real-time projects, and achieve ad hoc tasks with the help of Lambda codes. Data pipelines are triggered with the help of Lambda, or data pipelines monitoring is done with the help of Lambda. So those things we are going to cover: how to code in a Lambda, how to interact with other AWS services with the help of Lambda, such as interacting with IAM, DynamoDB, AWS Glue, S3. Those things we are going to see, and we are going to write about around 4 to 5 Lambda functions in the starting phase. And when we move on with the various AWS services, then we are going to see how we can connect those services with the help of Lambda functions. We will see how we can utilize Boto 3, just the SDK for the Amazon, and to use other services and create automations with the help of Lambda. So those things we are going to see in the AWS Lambda part. And it's completely, again, I'm mentioning, it's completely going to be hands-on courses. I'll be sharing codes and all the dependencies that we have to check out there. Then next topic will be AWS Athena, which is a serverless analytical tool on the cloud. So in this, we will first of all we'll see what kind of use cases we can handle with the AWS Athena, what are the features that Athena is providing to us, and how to create tables in Athena, how to use crawlers to create those data catalog tables, and what are the features that crawler has, and how we can automate this table creation, and how to create trigger pipelines with Athena, those kind of things, and how we can query using Athena tables. Those sort of analysis and hands-ons we are going to do in this Athena lectures. Then next topic for us is going to be AWS Glue. So Glue, you can say it's a heart of ETL service in the cloud. We can write PySpark code here. We can write Python code here. We can use a visual editor to work with Glue. We can use notebooks to create or you can say debug our code. So those kind of operations we can achieve with the help of AWS Glue service. And all these things we are going to check in our course. We are going to write some functions in Python shell. We are going to write some programs in PySpark shell. We are going to set up a notebook, Glue notebook, and see how to do a step-by-step execution of your programs to find out the errors and debugging of the programs. We are going to see its use cases, its pricing, how it is behind the scene, it's working, and how it became so powerful and popular in the market for the ETL services. So those all things we are going to see here. And our final project is also going to be on AWS Glue. So I'll talk about that project later. Next, we are going to see a warehousing service in the cloud. It's called AWS Redshift. I'll introduce you with the warehousing part of the SQLs. You know, there's a difference between OLD transitions and OLAP transitions, and which use cases we should use SQL databases, or in which use cases we should go for data warehousing solutions, and how warehousing is different than other normal databases. So those things we are going to see in the introduction part. Then I'm going to show you its workload management, creation of DDLs and DMLs, its core structure, and how it is doing parallel processing in the cloud, and its Redshift Spectrum technology, how it encodes and decodes data, and how it utilizes compressions to enhance the performance of your queries and reduce the latencies, how to load data into Redshift, how to unload data into Redshift, all those copy commands features, and its pricing and various kind of optimization techniques, and there are more features on Redshift, such as a kind of distribution that we want on Redshift, or kind of ordering we want on Redshift, purging, and all those things. That there are many more features on Redshift. Those things we are going to see in this course. And again, it's going to be completely hands-on. And I'll be doing practically showing you these all concepts in real time. Then we are going to see Amazon EMR, is Hadoop implementation on cloud. So in this, we can run technologies like Pig, Hive, Scoop, Spark. But as Pig is completely outdated, none of the project is actually utilizing those technologies. So we are again going to be stuck with Python and Spark here, and we are going to see some Hive use cases. What is Hive and how we should utilize Hive for our data analysis or data warehousing purpose? What are the use cases of EMR? Which kind of projects use EMR, and how to launch EMR service, how to connect with EMR service, how to utilize EMR Studio. Those things we are going to see in EMR sections of this course. Moving ahead, we will see NoSQL DB, that is called Amazon's DynamoDB. This is different. This is a completely different service than normal SQL databases and data warehousing solutions. It's a NoSQL tool. So we are going to see NoSQL queries also. I'll introduce you to DynamoDB, its use cases, various kind of indexings that we have in DynamoDB, how to achieve those things, how to create indexes, and what are the use cases of indexes in which scenarios we should choose to create indexing, and all those things. Again, it's going to be completely practical. We will see how to create tables from the console and insert values in those. And we will see how to upload data inside the tables using glue code or lambda code, and its consistency modes, and all those things we are going to see hands-on. So DynamoDB is again, I'm saying it's a NoSQL things, and it's very frequently used for logging purpose also in your projects, or if you're using this DynamoDB as your main database, then it's a help. Then it's a very helping and real-time applications such as gaming, e-commerce websites, and those things. DynamoDB is very much utilized. Next, we are going to see many other small but useful AWS services such as IAM, RDS. IAM is authentication methods that we can use, identity and authentication management service. Then RDS is nothing but a relational database service. So I'll just show you how we can create MySQL servers or Oracle servers in the cloud. Then Kinesis is one of the services that I'm going to show you completely. Kinesis data streams, Kinesis data firehose, Kinesis analytics, and this Kinesis is actually used for live data streaming or live data processing. And we are going to do hands-on here also. I'll just show you how this data, how the events are transferred from producers to consumers, and how we can utilize the sharding to do these transfers, and how we can do some transformations on the live data or to do analysis of live data. Those things we are going to see in the Kinesis. Then some other services like CloudWatch, CloudTrace, and KMS we are going to see. SNS we are going to see for sending emails. You know, in the case of pipeline failure or completion or success, we have to inform our team that this particular piece is completed. So for that, we are going to integrate our final project with using SNS. KMS is a key management service and secret manager. So 2 or 3 more services that are useful for the data engineers. We are going to see those things also in practical. Then in the end, we are going to work on a real-time project. Or by real-time, I'd say it's a way of solving this the requirement and its solution, its coding, and the services that we use. Its security will be on production level, and it's you can say it's a replica of a actual project. But obviously, data is going to be from Kaggle or some open data sets we are going to use here. So in this project, first of all, we are going to get our data on S3 files. Using the S3 events, we are going to trigger our pipelines. That pipeline will be done by AWS Glue. All the transformations, logics will be, we are going to write that on AWS Glue services. And logic is going to be kind of SCD2 requirement. Slowly changing dimensions. We are going to see how to achieve those in clouds, converting our files into Parquet file format, and loading that finally solved data into Redshift. We are going to see, and this is going to be complete automated pipeline. So as and when a file will be coming on S3 buckets, our pipeline will be running, and it will be completing all the stages, such as raw data will be placed on S3 files, and then data will be transformed, and transformed data will be placed on in the form of Parquet files, again on some different S3 bucket. And from there, it's going to be loaded inside the Redshift data warehousing. And then it can be further consumed by BI tools and some ML tools. In this, all the troubleshooting, monitoring, probable errors, we are going to discuss, and then we are going to validate the final results on the Redshift warehousing solutions. So this is the overall course details. If you guys have any questions about these things, you can ask me now.
Jalaj, Praveen here. Any prerequisite we have for this course? Like, I have no knowledge of.
It's a bit breaking.
Any prerequisite required for this course?
It will be good if you have SQL knowledge. That's all I'm expecting. Okay. Basic select queries, insert queries, delete queries, update queries. If you have idea about those things, then we are very much good.
Okay.
And Jalaj, so if people are working in a old ETL environment, so whoever they wants to convert as a data engineer, it's okay, right? So it's related to data field, right?
Yes. So as some of you guys mentioned, mainframes and I think talent someone also mentioned. So trust me, I also started my career on mainframes, coding on COBOL, EZ3, JCLs, and then I switched to this cloud. And I have also worked on the Pacific Talent to do some data migrations. And we were used to connect with our SAP HANA systems using Talent and gather data on cloud using Talent, and on cloud we were running this exact data pipelines.
Jalaj, it's like in the Athena you mentioned it's like analytical one, right? So can you mentioned like querying the data? So can we do any sample reporting with the Athena, or is it's just like SQL statements and run to check the data like that?
So visual reportings are not there. Those are done by QuickSight. QuickSight we are actually not covering in this course because that is the front-end application. So currently we are focusing on data engineering side, which is a backend and cleaning and processing data. So that things we are doing right now. And to answer your question, yes, Athena is an analytical tool. We cannot do visualizations there. Queries we can do it.
Okay.
Jalaj, I have a question. So for this transformations and glue, will you use custom formats, or you'll use the random generated?
No, we are going to write our own code. And my boss is scared.
Okay.
Okay.
And
so we are going to use the sorry, let me cut this again. My
okay.
I'll just join back.
Sure.
Hello.
Yeah, speaking.
Okay, you asking?
Yeah, so like if you're using the custom formats in the Glue platform, like the console.
Yeah.
So even though if it is a custom formats, so in the real time for the right, what it is the testing or debugging for the other teams, like so how they will use it, like will you use the separately the what is Jupyter files or Spark files and uploading into the Glue Studio and doing the transformations, or you will directly use the custom format on the Glue console, like Spark console?
Let me just tell you. Code our job. And sometimes code this is we use to test our codes. Those things I'm going to tell you how it is done, how you set up your notebooks and
okay, like uploading the files as a zip file and loading into the Glue console and running the scripts.
For that you can definitely connect. But in this course, I'm simply just pushing my code manually to Glue. I write my code on Visual Studio, and then I just push my code onto Glue manually. But in real time, sometimes they do connect with Git, or sometimes they just use AWS CI/CD. But it's a DevOps work. It's not the work of data engineers. It's mostly the work of DevOps guys. These guys handle the code management and all those updates and deletes, all those things. The DevOps guys mentioned manage that things. Have you got the answer, or still you have some doubts? Hello.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
Yes, please. Next question.
Yeah, Jalaj. So are you going to cover migration?
See, I can tell you all the details about the migration, how it is done, which tools and technologies are used, and I can try. But see, thing here is, I do not have anything on premise on technologies such as like SAP HANA servers on mainframes. I do not have personal access to those servers, so I can give you all the scenarios, all the theories about that, and practical we can try, but I won't commit on that. Okay, I'm very frank guy. If something I cannot commit, I cannot do, I won't commit on that.
Okay,
Migration,
so
all the strategies, all the tools, technologies, all the approaches that we use, I can give you all the knowledge about that, and you will be, in a very good position to do if it is required. But practically doing that and committing for hands-on, I won't commit on that.
Okay, so do you have experience, hands-on experience on migration, correct?
Yes, so we have migrated from SAP HANA system, DB2s, and some SQL servers. Those things from those we have migrated data.
All right. Okay.
Can we copy the script from any other database and place it here to that kind of work we can do it?
Copy the script from
Any other database. Okay, for example, I'm going to create the table in this AWS. Okay, I have the existing database which is in HANA. Okay, can I take the copy of the script copy from there and can I place it here to create new table here?
I think syntax differences will be there if you're doing it from SAP HANA. If you are doing it from normal SQL servers like Oracle or SQL SQL servers, there shouldn't be any problem because syntaxes are, see, on-premise servers and cloud servers are not different syntactically. But if you are using completely different technology, then on SAP HANA and here you are using RDS or some other thing, then it might be some syntax differences are there. I will say it's not 100% compatible. In some cases, it could be, but it's not 100% compatible.
This topic we're going to cover in this training, like if you consider as a relational database like SQL or HANA, sorry, SQL or Oracle, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Can we, I mean, are you going to cover this one also?
I mean, in which regards, I'm still not getting your question.
In the project level, you're saying that live project, right? Okay, my question was, we have the data, okay, tables and everything in the existing database, SQL, okay? How we are going to create those tables in this AWS? Are you going to write a script for each and every table in this? Or we have an option to copy and paste it here and then do it?
Okay, so usually you can say 60 to 70% of times we do have to write the scripts manually, okay? But sometimes we can write Python scripts to infer the on-premise schema. Based on that, generate SQL queries for your target database and execute those queries. So if you want that kind of approach, that I have done, with we had some database movement from SAP HANA to Snowflake, not on Redshift, on Snowflake. So on Snowflake, I had written that code. It's a fairly easy task. You just have to infer the schema, and then you have to generate the DDLs for that, and then you can execute those DDLs, and it will be fine. But if you're expecting, simply we can copy paste the script and execute those, I doubt that in 100% time they are going to work.
Okay. Right. Yep.
So any questions from Dwarka?
Can you open a blue page?
Raman, there is issue with your audio. So when you ask the question, you can unmute and they can ask and they can go for mute again.
Okay, sure.
Yes, please, you have one question.
I just want to see the glue level what are going to be covered.
On glue level.
Yeah, glue.
Yeah, it will be complete coverage on glue, like all the Python shell and all the examples on Python shell, Spark shell, and our final project is also going to be on glue. So in our final projects, we are going to transform our data. Then we are going to apply SCD2 logics, identifying the deleted records, added records, or updated records. Those kind of logics we are going to write. How to assign surrogate keys, how to assign joins, and those things we are going to see. I mean, all the transformations, or I mean, all is not a correct word, but most of the transformations and most of the logics that we do in real time, I'm going to tell you about those on glue.
transformations like it means like we're going to do data cleansing, data quality, and everything we are going to do it here, right?
Data cleansing, data transformations, and joins on those things we are going to do in Glue.
Okay. And it is for any database to any database we can load the data with this Glue, right?
Yes. See, I'll tell you how it happens in actual real-time projects. Most of the times when we do migration, so what we do from on-premise data is 99% of the times is migrated to S3 service. This piece here, it is migrated to, and this data is called raw data. Just migrated from your on-premise network to cloud, and it is landed on S3 buckets. From this S3 buckets, a data pipeline is started to convert this raw data into a final transform usable data for your maybe it could be for your ML operations, it could be for your BI guys to visualize that and generate some dashboards and KPIs, all those things. Or it could for just solve the data and store it for your analytical processing. So that's how it goes. All the data, be it from any cloud. So it's very rarely you will see that AWS Glue is directly connected to any database on premise, because it's not a feasible option. Option is like perfect thing is like we create data lakes first. Okay, so if you have ever heard this word data lake, so we do create data lake on S3 first. From the data lake, we generate our data warehouse solution.
Okay, thanks.
Yes, please.
If I want to that hands-on this thing in AWS environment, so is there any they are giving any few days for trial something, this AWS service?
They do say that they have a 12 months of free trial, but not all services are completely free. There are some limitations, and you can expect a charges of around 500 to 600 rupees for this complete course.
Okay, say for example, in our what we are going to our project, so we can able to do that in our free version, or you have to buy something 500, 600 something we have to buy, and we have to do use that all the services, because we want to know that, all the services we at least we want to know the exposure something now we are doing that our
that's what I'm saying. Some services are completely free, some services are free for a limit, and that's what I'm saying. If you do all the hands-on that we are going to do in this course, and if you try those things from your side, max bill that you can expect is around 500 to 700 rupees. That's all. Unless you do a blunder. So I'm going to tell you which service is free and how much charges you can expect and how to avoid or reduce charges. Things we are going to discuss. Because this cost is not a factor only for us, like individual learners. It is also the factor for clients also. Because if you provide them a very cost solution, then they might not be very happy with you. Okay? So for this, we also need to understand how to reduce and optimize our workload on clouds.
I'm not about talking about
Your voice is actually echoing, so I'm not getting your questions completely. Can you please repeat?
Yeah, I'm not asking about our real-time project, but we want to hands-on something that is 500 to 700 we have to spend, and we will get some services, right? That is enough for us, right?
Yeah, that
to
is
answer. Thank you.
And this is also I'm telling you, a higher side, because I do run my services very much, and for one or two batches we have running in parallel. And obviously, you are not going to run these services as much as I'm running. So this is, I think, the max amount that you can have in your bill. So it's not like a prepaid thing. When you use the services, you do get a bill after each end of every month, and you have to pay for that.
Jalas, one more question. For the loading the data, so you're saying that the Redshift, right? So is there any chance to use any other target location like a Snowflake, just for demo?
It can be done.
Okay. Okay. And in the syllabus, I think Namasya showed the syllabus. Initially, we are going to do some classes for the basics of SQL and Python. So how many classes you will cover?
Three, bring right now. So we have to cover 5, and it's going to take around 3 to 4 days. And anyhow, we are not going to end with Python on the 3 to 4 days. So next, whenever we are running our Lambda codes, our Glue codes, in those classes also we are going to discuss Python only.
Okay. Okay.
So what is the duration and how many hours you will take it daily?
So it's 1 hour per day. Sometimes it can be 1 hour, 10 minutes, or 15 minutes of explained it. And it's going to be around 6 to 7 weeks of complete course.
So okay, 6 to 7 years. Okay, fine. So you are saying you will cover one mini project, something like that, correct now? So it is like so ETL perspective or like end to end? Just
First,
for ETL.
the mini one is going to be project where we are going to use AWS Lambda. We are going to see how we can create a small pipeline using Lambda. And in the final one, we are going to see complete ETL pipeline from source to target with all the logins, applications, and emails. All those things I'm going to go with you. And that's going to be on PySpark code, not on Python shell. In the mean, there will be some one small session on Apache Spark also, because we need to understand Apache Spark also.
Okay, this mini project also included in these 6 to 7 weeks or excluded?
Yes, it's included.
Excluded. Okay.
It is included, not excluded.
Included. Though then how many days it takes to complete this mini project?
Mini projects around 2 or 3 days.
Oh, 2 or 3 days. Okay. Okay, Jalesh.
So any other question from anyone?
Last question. Jalaj, will you use any APIs loading data?
API.
Like instead of taking files from the S3 location AWS, sometimes like in real time, they will give some external source for streaming or kind of things. They will provide only API. So we have to download that. I mean, we have to get the data from the API sources, and then we have to load the data files into the target location. Will you use any that kind of demo?
No. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, Judge, we can go to AWS account then.
Okay, so I'll just log into AWS and I'll show you one of the example codes that we have. Okay, so I'm just going to show you one of the Lambda codes. And first of all, this is our AWS console. This is how it looks like, and this is landing page. And we do see recently we checked services that we have used. And if you want to see all services that is given by AWS, you click on the all services, and then you can go on and view all services. This is the complete services that is provided by currently provided by AWS. Obviously, no one can learn all these because it's coming from various of backgrounds like just compute, storage, security, and machine learning, data analytics, media services, and we have migration and transfer. All the services are there. And then we have some business applications. All the things are there. Internet IoT is there. DevOps profile is also there. So those things obviously we cannot cover each and everything. Not only in this course, I'll say it's on a career-wise also. You have to select first of you have to select one stream, then you can maybe switch to next one in next 2-3 years, like that. So for now, let's see the Lambda thing. And about this data migration, maybe I can try out have some server, to get access to some server, but still I'll say I'm not committing on that part. Let's say we check this first Lambda function that we have right now. So this is a very basic, or you can say, and still a good use case Lambda function. So we had the requirement in our project to get the details that how many users currently are active. It just means individual users, humans, are active in our AWS environment and have to change their passwords very frequently, because there is no direct function to get a password rotation done in IAM, and we have to trigger the guys after maybe some certain days. You can say 30 days, 45 days, or 60 days, and send them an email when if their password is expired, or when it's too old, we have to send an email to those guys, and so that those guys can rotate their passwords. So for that, this is the code, and here we are connecting the service called IAM, that is the Identity and Access Management Service of AWS. And from that, first we get the list of users that we are currently active, and then if the users are active, like active filtering I'm doing here, if those are the active users on my account, I will check, I will get the current date, I'll get the number of active days of that users, like how many days are how many days from how many days they haven't changed their password. So that detail I'm going to get from this particular code. And if their days, like if the number of active days is greater than the 30 days, or like this can be any random number as per our preferences, we are going to trigger an email to those users saying that you have to change your password. Like that, we are going to do this in this particular Lambda function. So interesting thing is in this code is not this, that what logic we are applying. Interesting thing in this is that how to interact with other AWS services, such as in this example, I'm interacting with IAM service. That means if I just go on IAM, if I just go on the users page, so I do have few of the users listed here, and if you check out the password age here, so some users have changed the password around 101 days before, or some of those it's like 66 days ago. So obviously in real time projects we have around this number of users are too much, and we don't want to have a someone look into this list and identify who are the ones are defaulters. So for that, this automation was required, and using my code here, I'm creating a API call to my IAM services, and I'm getting these details, the password, age, and all those things. And then based on the logic, I'm generating an email. Obviously, email generate part is not here. I will code that, and then I'll send the code to you. And in real times, we are going to learn about how this client is created, what is the relevance of this client, and how to identify which kind of functions and which kind of methods we have to use. What is the request syntax of those things? What is the response syntax of those things? understanding those things and not memorizing codes instead of memorizing code, understanding the code, and so we can write the next code or we can modify our logics as per the requirement. And if you see this here, like IAM, expired jack, backup to S3, kinesis consumers, and tax detection lambda, recognition lambda, all these codes I'm going to take in this course, and I'm going to pass this to you, and I'm going to explain this to you. And like example, this triggering the glue job from our lambda function when a file comes, and doing transformations on live data using Kinesis firehose. All those things we are going to check and learn in this course. So yes, please, if you guys have any questions, you can ask me. I just open the code again.
Those are default codes, or it was imported from somewhere?
I have created codes, not default ones.
It means if we want to, if we need it, we have to write this code in the lambda, right?
Exactly.
But the syntax is completely different, right? Which is not related to Java or not related to any other.
No, it's a Python. It's a Python. It's not a lambda thing. It's a Python language.
It's a
So
Python.
you can also write your code in Java. That option is also available. But in this course, I'll again repeat, we are going to cover Python only. So if you go on create function, then we do have runtime options like Node.js. Then we have Go, Java, Python, Ruby, .NET. So we do have some other support for many languages, but in this one we are going to cover with Python only.
But here we don't have that SQL option, right? It's only
SQL not on the Lambda. Lambda is kind of a, I mean, it's not an analytic application. You can say it's a more kind of a flow generating applications.
Okay.
SQL we use for data analysis. Lambda is not for data analysis part.
So can you show us like a glue once?
Yeah, sure. Just go on the glue.
Before going to this, I have a question. So in that lambda expression, so yeah, before going to the AWS glue in the lambda, can you go to that lambda function?
Yeah, please.
Suppose now in this code you are showing one demo code, right? That demo code you are interacting with that IAM service. Suppose I want to interact with the other AWS service. So in this case, I should know, right? I can able to any AWS service, I can interact it and I can do that, right? Whatever I want in my program language.
Yes. See, this example, I have created my client for my Lambda function, for my IAM function, my IAM service for my Lambda functions. Okay. Likewise, as you are saying, we can definitely connect with any AWS services you can, like anything that you can do from console, you can also do with the help of Lambda functions. And that is actually supported by this Boto3 library that we are seeing it here. This is supported by Boto3 library. So this is, you can see it's an SDK for your cloud environment for any AWS services. So if you check the other example, let me just show you this one. Recognition copy maybe will work. So in this example, I'm connecting with AWS recognition, Amazon recognition. I'm connecting with using this code, and I am generating an image analysis with the help of Amazon recognition. So this means I will transfer one image into this code. Like my input is going to be my photo, one image that is placed in S3 buckets, and I'm going to run this code, and it's going to do send my details to Amazon recognition, which is an AI tool, and it is used for image analysis. And it will analyze that image, and its results I'm going to get back in a JSON format. And then I'm doing some ETL transformations to convert that particular JSON into a CSV bucket. So that thing we are doing in this particular code. And then we are writing the final results on S3 bucket itself. And then we are going to run the crawlers on top of this to create a table. So if you check this blog, my main project is actually this blog.
Okay.
So if you check this out here, it's you can read about this. We are going to create this one, this piece. We are going to first a PDF file or if we have a CSV or image file. If we have a image file, then we are going to use the Amazon Recognition's pre-built API to run some analysis and get this output into CSV. Obviously, I'm not going to write all these 767 functions, but I can tell you how you can write. So you can do it from your end, like copy paste all of those things. Then we are going to write our results in Amazon Athena. Okay. Once those results are in Athena, you can use QuickSight to connect with Athena and you can generate some dashboard. So no need to write. I mean, on Athena, my results are going to look like this. Okay. And then on QuickSight, you can generate results in this format. If you are a visualization expert, you can use an API tool to connect Athena, but I'll say we don't need to do each and everything because this is one thing. In this data engineering field, nobody can do each and everything. You have to be, good in your own area. That's all I mean, yeah.
So what you are trying to say, whatever service we can interact here, that's the interaction place. We can do that our whatever we can achieve our play our area through code.
Yeah.
Using that AWS service.
Yes, we can.
Okay, fine. We want to know that suppose if you want to write many things, then you should know that how to interact with service. That you should know that prerequisite, right? Before you implement that Lambda functions. Yeah.
Yes, obviously you should know what type to target. Then we can.
This Lambda function where they will be triggered is there it's a normal trigger or we have to where this function Lambda function will be triggered.
So it's like any other application. We can trigger this time or manually based on some file, based on some events. So we can, or maybe we can, generate some flows of Lambda functions. Those things we can actually achieve.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
This blog actually is an open blog. You can read it on Google also.
Jalal, one more question. So once the code is ready, the Lambda script or Glue script, PyScript, how the other UAT or code peer review they will do? We have to provide the files separately, or will they access this environment as it is?
In real time, mostly it is.
Yeah.
In real time, it is mostly configured with Git, and DevOps guys manage these things. So once the code is approved, they will push it to UAT, and once UAT is approved, they will push it to production and like that.
Okay.
So on this, if we just click here, like on the this is the thing AWS organizations they use, and they create AWS dev account, AWS UAT account, and AWS prod account, and then we understand.
Okay.
That is not our headache. We just have to focus on the coding part. And one thing I'll say very frankly, whether you guys join this or not, nobody can make you an expert in 1.5 months. So it will be this code is going to be good enough to give you advanced level knowledge. Then depending on your time that you are giving, your effort put on it, then it will be more useful for you. If you just enroll in this course and you imagine that we are going to do wonders.
Right. So it will come under completely DevOps part, right? So giving the scripts to UAT or P-code, peer reviewing, or the production deployment, that is comes to DevOps. It's not part of development.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Thank you. Okay, Jealous. Thank you for your time. So I have to go. So I'm dropping from the meeting. Thank you. Bye bye.
Yeah.
Jealous, this is glue, na?
This is Lambda.
Lambda.
Show you Glue also. Glue actually we have at least 3 or 4 options we have. We can create a visualize job, visual job. So visual editors of is not up to the mark of production level, but yet it's notebooks and it's Spark editor and Python shell is to the mark. So definitely we are going to focus more on these things, which is mostly used in real times. And just in case we want to check some small jobs, so this is how you can write PySpark jobs in Glue. This is the example of PySpark jobs in Glue.
Okay.
It means we should know any one language, either Java or Python, right?
I'll say you should learn Python for this AWS, right? Java is very rarely used. Most of the projects you will find in Python only.
Mm-hmm.
Python or maybe Scala for Glue, but Java will not work. And anyhow, Java is not supported on AWS Glue. It is supported on Lambda functions, but it is
Okay.
not supported on or AWS Glue.
Okay. Okay.
What do you suggest? First, I have to learn Python, then start with AWS. Or we can
Yeah.
start with AWS directly.
See, we can start with AWS directly, but that's not going to make very much sense. That's why I say I'm going to start with Python first in 3-4 days, to, giving you the basics of Python, or to make you on a stage so you can read and understand the codes in Python also. And if required, you can code them also from your end. And obviously, each and every code that we are going to write in this code is going to be Python only. We are not going to swapping the languages. And I'm going to give you all the backgrounds, all the basics, all the advanced level codes of Python also in this code.
So you will cover entire this glue, correct, na? So
Yes,
how we
exactly.
can,
Yes, exactly. Line by
So
line, step by step, we are going to start.
so data model, everything like that, correct, na?
See, data modeling, I'm not going to teach. Okay, that is a completely different thing. Like data modeling and star schema, snowflake schema, that's a
Yeah.
completely different thing.
Yes.
That is not
Okay.
covered in this course. We will cover in this course Python, Glue, Lambda, and how we can code in this Python, Lambda, and all those things. And we are going to create a funnel project that's going to have a end-to-end data transformation pipeline.
Okay. So are you able to take these data modeling sessions for us?
I might give you, brief introduction of data modeling that I can do, but obviously I will not be able to make you master in data modeling because that's a completely different thing. And we
Yes.
cannot learn each and everything in a 1.5 month. That's obviously you guys also understand.
Mm.
Okay, if we want to learn only this Glue, how many days will take?
I'll
Complete
say,
data modeling and everything.
okay, I'll say 2 or 3 days for data modeling, around 3, 4, 5 days. Let's say 4 days for Python because Glue is not Glue itself you can learn in one day, but it's more about the Python and PySpark. So I'll say 2.5 weeks or 3 weeks should be fine. If you're just going specifically for these things.
Okay.
Fine, Jalaj. Thanks. Thanks for your time. And,
Any questions, Shanti, Sindhu, Dorknath?
No, Ganesh, no. Right
Um,
now, we don't.
the users and roles and responsibilities is taken care by our teams, or it's still in a AW? I mean, Amazon will take care of that.
No, not Amazon. It has to be us. And if you have a big team, it's mostly security admin or InfoSec guys, or it could be DevOps guys also. It's not a responsibility of data engineer, but yeah, if you're really working in a very small team, then you should know IAM also, and obviously IAM also in this course.
Okay, you mean to say IAM is the like admin console?
Kind of, yes, kind of.
Kind of. Okay.
You know who can access what services, who can log in, who can do edit, delete, or who can just read through those kind of things. We can use IAM.
Okay. But there is no installation setup, right? It's just kind of URL based only.
Installation is
This is not a software installation, right? It's just kind of URL based. We have to purchase license from Amazon and then you have to use it. That's it only, right?
no, it's actually very different than that.
It's completely different. Okay. For example, if I 50 users in my organization, how to use this AWS? How to do that one? Like we have to purchase the software or?
Oh no, it's IAM. It's IAM.
Okay.
Everything you can manage with IAM. It's a free of cost services.
Oh, okay. Okay. No, the license part. Okay.
It's
For
not
example,
licensed. AWS is not licensed thing. Okay, there's no license for AWS. It's just that you can say it's like a post-paid services that we used to have in a mobile phones. The
oh,
more you use, the more bills you get. That's all.
yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, please, welcome.